Welcome to Daily Papers, the podcast where we break down the latest and most interesting academic papers into something a bit more digestible.
Today, we're talking about something that feels like it's perpetually 5 years away: self-driving cars. They're getting incredibly smart, but that raises a really tricky question. How do you actually grade an AI driver? How do you give a robot a driving test?
It's a great question, because if a car is going to drive itself, we need to be absolutely sure it's a good driver. And a paper from researchers at NVIDIA titled DriveJudge is proposing a new way to be the ultimate driving instructor for these AIs.
So, to understand what's new about DriveJudge, we first have to look at how we've been testing these cars so far. Broadly, there have been two old-school approaches.
The first one is basically the copycat method. You have a human drive a route perfectly, and then you see if the AI car can do the exact same thing. It sounds reasonable, right?
It does, but it has big problems. First, there isn't always one single correct way to drive. Maybe you merge a little earlier, maybe I merge a little later, but we're both safe. This method punishes the AI for not being a perfect clone, even if its driving was perfectly fine.
And let's be honest, sometimes human drivers are not the best role models to copy in the first place. So what's the other method?
The other method is the strict robot approach. This is purely rule-based. The car is graded on a checklist. Did you stay perfectly centered in a lane? Yes or no? Did you ever exceed the speed limit? Yes or no? Did your wheel touch a solid white line? Yes or no?
That sounds really rigid. I can already see the problem. What if a garbage truck is double parked and you have to nudge over the center line to get around it?
Exactly. The strict rule-based judge would immediately say, "Fail, you crossed a solid line." It has no understanding of context. It's like a driving instructor who has only ever read the rule book but has never actually been in a car. It can't handle the messy, unpredictable reality of the road.
These are what the paper calls long-tail scenarios, the weird, uncommon situations that don't fit the neat rules. So the copycat method is too subjective, and the rule-based method is too dumb. What about using a modern, super intelligent AI to be the judge?
That's the next logical step, and people have tried it. You can use what's called a vision language model, or VLM. Think of it as an AI like ChatGPT, but with eyes. You can show it a video of the car driving and just ask, was that good driving?
And because it's so smart, it would understand the context, right? It would see the double-parked garbage truck and say, I see what's happening here. It's okay that the car crossed the line there. That was the smart move.
It is much better at context, yes, but it has the opposite problem of the rule-based system. It's smart, but it can be imprecise. It might miss small but critical details. It might not be able to tell if the car was 10 inches away from a pedestrian or 12 inches away. It's good at the big picture, but it lacks what the paper calls physical grounding. It can't use a ruler.
Okay, so we have one judge that's precise but has no common sense, and another judge that has common sense but is a bit fuzzy on the details. This is where DriveJudge comes in. It tries to combine the two.
It's the best of both worlds. The paper describes it as an agent that uses VLM-guided tool invocation. That sounds complicated, but the idea is actually very intuitive.
Please, break it down for us.
Imagine this smart VLM is the head driving instructor, and all those strict, simple rules like stay in your lane or maintain safe following distance are a set of tools in its toolbox. When a situation comes up, the instructor doesn't just give a thumbs up or thumbs down. First, it looks at the road and understands the entire scene.
So it sees the garbage truck.
Exactly. And it says, okay, for this specific maneuver of getting around this truck, I need to make a judgment call. I'm going to take out my collision avoidance tool and my driving smoothness tool and measure those very precisely. But I'm going to leave the lane keeping tool in the toolbox for the next 5 seconds because it's not relevant right now.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. It's not just blindly applying all the rules all the time. It uses its common sense to decide which rules matter in any given moment.
Precisely. It selectively invokes the rules. For normal driving on an empty highway, it might use all the tools, but for a tricky situation, it customizes the evaluation on the fly. It combines the contextual understanding of the VLM with the mathematical precision of the simple rules.
It's like having an instructor who has incredible common sense and a laser measuring tape and knows when to use each one. So the big question is, does it actually work better?
According to the paper, it works significantly better. The researchers created a huge dataset of over 33,000 challenging driving clips, including all these tricky edge cases, and had humans label whether the driving was reasonable or not.
And they put DriveJudge to the test?
They did. They tested it on two main tasks. The first was just classifying driving as good or bad. DriveJudge was way more accurate than all the other methods. The second task was preference selection, where it was shown two different paths a car could take and had to pick the better one.
Again, DriveJudge's choices aligned with human preferences far more often. So this isn't just a new self-driving car AI, it's a new, much better referee for all self-driving cars. This could be huge for developing the technology.
That's the real takeaway. To make better students, you need a better teacher, or in this case, a better judge. If you can more accurately and reliably evaluate how an AI drives, especially in those weird, messy situations, you can train them much more effectively.
It seems like a crucial step towards building systems that we can actually trust on the road. Instead of just judging by a rigid rulebook, DriveJudge helps us ask a much better question. Did the car do the reasonable thing given the circumstances? And it seems the answer is getting closer to yes.